First of all, thank all of you for being here. I'm Alfredo Parrish. You may know that or not. One other person will be coming. I want to, first of all, we've been on the phone all morning with Dr. Roberts. He's been helping us prepare his press conference he's authorized us to talk about. Some things he's authorized us to talk about. Some things he's not authorized us to talk about. So we're going to stay within that framework. First of all, we want to thank all the folks in the community for the tremendous support that they provided to Dr. Roberts. It's been amazing. We are going to have one more person coming from the community, I think, who's on the way here. He understands that he has the support, and it really gives him inspiration. His spirits are high. He was very well engaged in all our discussions this morning for about the last 2 hours. First of all, this is a very complex case. It's complex, it's difficult, and there are a lot of what I would call a myriad of issues that are involved. What I would do is encourage people as they review this case to be patient, to take it a step at a time, and at the end of the day, we'll find what we think might be the important issues to focus on. So I keep a sign up in my office. That sign says, "One step at a time." A client of mine did that for me several years ago, and that's kind of how I guide myself and why I have not made any extensive comments for the last 3 days. Remember, we just got this case Friday afternoon and have been working diligently and trying to keep the public informed as much as possible. There are several jurisdictions that are involved. There are several law enforcement entities that are involved. Betty, you want to come on up, please? Yeah, come on up. This is Betty Andrews from the NAACP. We've asked her to come in also with us. What we did yesterday that everyone is curious about, we filed a motion to stay. I tell folks in our office we have some of the most versatile and what I would call knowledgeable immigration lawyers anywhere in the state or anywhere in the country. And they've been working diligently since Friday trying to put together some responses. Also remember, these files are difficult to access. They're difficult to get. And we have done our best to try to get as much as possible to give the public some insight into what's going on. But yesterday in Omaha, two of our staff actually drove over to Omaha and filed a motion to stay. You've asked me, well, what did it say? We're not at liberty to talk about that motion to stay. Today, we're in the process of filing a motion to reopen the case. Now, that's important because Dr. Roberts had a prior attorney. His prior attorney was in Texas. At the end of this conference, I'm going to share a letter that was received from the prior attorney telling his case had been closed successfully, and he was under the impression that it had been. And at the end of the comment, I'm going to make some additional, end of this interview, I will take some questions, and then we'll talk a little bit, but I'll take a few questions. I want to alert you in advance. Some questions I will not be able to answer for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is such a complex case. Number two, there's so many entities involved that we have touched bases with to try to work through this, through the consulate in New York for Guyana, through all many other entities we've been trying to work through this case with. We want you to know that Dr. Roberts' greatest concern is about his students who he actually loves and the students who love him back and his staff. So we'll talk a little bit about that. As we go through this process, again, step by step, we're going to be working on leaving no stone unturned to protect his interest. That's our number one goal, and our number one responsibility as lawyers representing him. What we're also going to do is show our concern about this community. We know there's been questions of a walkout planned by the students and perhaps some of the staff. We also know that there's going to be a demonstration October 1st that we've been alerted about. We want to make sure that they have the correct facts. What I've told people who've called me in this community to talk about this case is don't get ahead of your skis. And that's what we intend to do. I'm going to speak for a couple of more minutes, and then I'm going to take questions. Remember, some questions we will not be able to answer. It's only because we're not going to get into the merits of this case yet, because we're simply just not prepared in 4 days to do that. Those of you who are familiar with our firm's work, my career as a lawyer in this state, we rarely get ahead of our skis. Now, some may say, oh, he's always ahead of the skis, but no, I'm not. I'm rarely ahead of my skis. I like to take things step by step by step. We will today be sending a letter to the Des Moines School Board, authorized by Dr. Roberts, to resign his position as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools. That is going to go out. It's been authorized. It's not sent out. You're going to get a copy of that letter. You also will get a copy of the letter from Texas saying that everything was okay. This case was resolved successfully in April of 2025. With that in mind, we're prepared to take questions from you. Also, Betty Andrews is coming in. You all probably know her much better than you know me, from the NAACP. They have been an invaluable asset to us, their offices. We've gotten calls from all over the country, including immigration lawyers who are concerned about this case. One thing I would tell you at this point, have we seen the president's fingerprints on this case? I'm pretty straightforward. At this point, we have not. Can we say at some point we may not see that? We may see that? It's possible. But we've not seen the president's fingerprints on this case. I want to repeat that. This is a case that's been juggling through the system for a number of years. With that in mind, we'll take some questions. And remember, there's some questions I will not answer. Thank you.
Have you received the search warrant from the ATF for the search they executed at his house?
We have, I will say this, I have been told what's on a copy of the documents that were left by ATF, yes.
Are you able to tell us what?
I don't yet want to get into the details of that, but to answer your question, yes, we are knowledgeable about what ATF did when they went there, what they left, because they're required, as you all probably know, to leave an inventory.
Why was the order to remove
Yes.
Mr. Parks here? The Department of Iowa Education here in Iowa said that on his application for the superintendent, he put that he was a citizen. Number one, is he a citizen or does he maintain that he's a citizen? And number two, he's also been filling out that he has a social security number. Where did he get the social security number?
Well, both of those things I'm able to respond to, but quite frankly, I don't want to respond at this point. But as you may or may not know, certain people coming into this country are entitled to get a social security number. We thoroughly checked that out. That's not our concern at the moment. Let me go down to this.
Did he have authorization to work in the U.S. when he was employed by Des Moines Public Schools?
Well, you'll see the letter in April. You'll see when the case was reopened. You'll see that that date was May of 2024. So the question then becomes, what existed before that time? So that's what we're in the process of trying to dig through.
And did he participate in those removal proceedings last year?
Well, that's something else we're trying to find. You have to realize, we haven't gotten access to the file yet. As far as we've gotten is enough information to file the motion for stay and now a request for reopen. Because, and part of what we are trying to point out, Dr. Roberts has been a tremendous asset to this community and an inspiration, and his numbers have gone up significantly in terms of the dropouts, They've gone up significantly in terms of retention of students, and the test scores, including the ones down at the school downtown, have just been significantly improved. And so when we get calls from all over the country, all the community leaders, from judges to prosecutors to parents, not just from schools in Des Moines, we've gotten calls from places he used to be. And the theory is from them is he's a rock star. He makes a difference. So that's what we've been concentrating on.
And I said that
Okay, I need to probably take some questions from, yes, sir.
In your opinion, why did it take so long for Robert to get detained if this order of removal came out May of 2020?
Great question. As I've told so many people, sometimes when we call and have to engage with him, we're wondering if he's still in the country. Perhaps if the government closed down tonight, you may not have that problem. Who knows? So they may not have a plane to fly him out, but they may take this opportunity to fly him out. We don't know. It can go from day to day. As you've seen by watching the news reports, people can leave very quickly, or they could be here for some time. We hope that it's because they are now going to be beginning to look at our documents, but there's no promise that that's going to happen.
ICE mentioned a prior gun charge from February of 2020. Do you have any information about when and where that happened?
Let me respond to that. Do we have information? The answer is yes. Are we able to comment where we would sound intelligent on it without looking at all the documents? Our firm is the kind of firm that says we have to see everything. So we're not ready to comment. We can say that we have seen information. Some of it has been spotty, but we just don't know yet. So we're not, I would say, up to speed where we can discuss that in any detail.
Is there a charge?
I'm sorry.
Is there a charge?
Let me say I have that information. I'm not sure we can comment on it. And let me give an example. If someone has a partial page of a court docket sheet, it doesn't mean a whole lot. I'm not saying reporters run off with that, but because I know you don't. But it's important to know that you need the full docket. We just don't jump on decisions till we see the full docket. I have had some calls regarding that. Our response has been, do you have the whole docket? And they'll say, oh no, I'm looking at a half a sheet of paper. Well, what does the docket look? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. We want to know what everything looks like before we make assessment. Yeah, I'll go to Dave back here. Since I know Dave, I'm one of the older lawyers, so I know when Dave talks, I have to take his questions.
Which means I'm one of the older people.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. Could you respond to the allegation about the loaded weapon in the district vehicle? If that did happen, that would be grounds for termination, as you know. Can you respond to that allegation?
Oh, that's a great question, Dave. I cannot respond to it because some of the facts I know about that I've only gathered through my client, but I will tell you a couple of things that perhaps you guys don't know yet. He was in the military in Guyana. You probably know some of that. In that military operation, he led most of the most difficult raids on the biggest criminals in Guyana. And in doing that type of work, he was a target on some occasions to be taken out by the cartel. And so we don't know where that goes, but I think perhaps the government knows that. We know that, but that's about as far as I can comment on where they saw it. But he was he was transferred, he went to the military academy, was transferred to the police department, and he was in charge of leading, not just in Guyana, but in South America, work on dangerous criminals. Yes, sir.
ICE says that he entered the U.S. on a student visa in 1999, which conflicts with some of the publicly available information that's out there on his biography. When did he first come to the U.S. and under what terms?
Well, let me respond this way. I would take what I would consider reported information with a great degree of caution. What we found out there, that there are a lot of inconsistencies in contracting stuff. That's why we're trying to get access to the file so we'll have a better understanding of what that is. Yes, ma'am.
Did Mr. Robbins ever apply for U.S. citizenship or legal permanent residency?
That we cannot comment on this point. Yeah, I'm going to take just a couple of more questions. I said I'd keep this to 15 minutes, so.
You referred to him as Dr. Roberts. Can you tell us which institution he received his doctorate from?
Yes, it was, I know it, the international school is where they were supposed to grant his PhD. I have had an opportunity to look at the background check on that aspect that they confirmed that from. I just can't think of the first name, but it's something international.
Is it Trident?
Trident International, right. And I think they found no issues with that. And I don't think that's an issue at all that we're dealing with here. I know there's been reports out there about, resumes. I don't know how many you folks apply for different jobs. Your resume can get all screwed up out online. And with social media and people coming in and trying, go ahead.
Why wasn't he present for his immigration hearing in 24? And was he notified then afterwards? How did that notification happen?
That's a good question. It's a valid question. It's one I can't answer, one we're still trying to get to the bottom of. Yes, sir.
Sir, two things.
Let me go. Oh, okay. No, did I get to you yet? No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did he ever have authorization to work in the United States when he was in Des Moines? And secondly, are you able to say whether he was born in December 1970 or December 1973?
December 1970. Yes, that's his birth date. And it does show two dates, 58 and 54. He will be 55 his next birthday.
Yeah, Dr. Roberts' decision to resign, should we take that as he doesn't have the paperwork that the board is requiring by noon today?
When you read our letter that he directed us to prepare, which will be handed out to you in a couple of minutes, you will see his concern. It's a short letter, but it kind of talks about his heart, okay? And we're going to pass those out to you where you can have it.
Can we talk to Miss Betty before you wrap this up?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey Betty, you were part of a rally the other day. Can you address how you think this has all gone down, and in light of what Alfredo's talking about, where there's so much conflicting reports, yet people are very passionate one way or the other about this. Can you kind of sum up how you look at this whole thing?
Sure. Well, obviously, Dr. Roberts was a strong voice in the community for education and students, and and also was someone that many folks in the community were inspired by. And so our response is when we heard the news, it was definitely a challenge for us as we tried to understand what was going on. This is why we, the NAACP, is really emphasizing that we should not rush to judgment. We need to make sure that due process is had and just move cautiously. We haven't heard all of the facts. We don't know. We know that the Constitution does give due process to everyone, all persons, and so we are looking at making sure that due process avails.
Can you address the concerns by some who say that the board has put children in danger by allowing him to have this position?
No, I can't. I don't think I should address that, but thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just close. Be patient. I've tried to return all of your cell phone calls. Our office has tried to communicate as effectively as possible with everyone. See Mr. Morris out there as we could with Lee Rood. We're going to keep you informed. This is a very important issue to the public. We understand that. This is the first time in the history that a district like this has had a minority leading the district. It's the first time I think we've had someone, in my opinion, as qualified to reach out to the students as Dr. Roberts. The thing that has amazed me, quite frankly, are the calls from other jurisdictions who said, this man changed the way we looked at education. And so we're going to work our hearts out for him, leave no stone unturned, as we always do for our clients. And I got to shout out to my staff, since my lawyers I work with, my partners, etc. Brandon's here, Kyle is here. We have not stopped working on this case since Friday at about 3 o'clock. And we're going to continue to work on it until we can get all of the information we need. We will be filing a motion to reopen the case. And once we do that, we'll be ready to rock.
When you say reopen, can you tell us what you're trying to reopen?
reopen his closed file.
What are the chances of that when his case was heard?
We don't know yet. That's why I tell him I rely on my smart lawyers, not me. But we are working on it, and that's going to be filed.
Can you confirm where he was born and also comment on why
Guyana.
he fled?
I can. I know the facts, but I don't want to comment on it. I'm going to close out in just a second. I have not given Mr. Morris a question yet from the register. Go ahead.
Yes, can you just comment on the statements by DHS that Ms. Roberts fled from officers and abandoned the vehicle?
Right. That was the same question pending here. You know, and I don't want this to be the lead, but if I was a black guy, no, I'm just kidding. You know, that's how I would start that conversation, you know, and in the woods, but let's leave it at that. I don't know all of the facts. I don't want to comment on them yet, but I mean, come on, you guys are smart reporters. I don't have to share with you those stories. And I'm not saying that's the reason, but he's from Guyana. You know, he's in the United States. He gets stopped. And
Quick clarifying question. What years was he in the Guyana military?
I believe 89 through 93, something like that. I could have the dates wrong, so don't hold me to it. I'm going to close out here. We're going to pass out these letters. We won't take any questions separated from anyone else, so we'd like to close the news conference now. Be patient. I guarantee you, and I promise you, we will have a follow-up news conference at some point. We'll invite all of you to participate. We will answer the questions. Right now, we're going to take it a step at a time. We're going to give you copies. Kyle's going to pass out, which I think will be eye-opening to each of you who followed this story closely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here you are.